What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. So, this podcast is going to basically serve as the update. You'll be seeing it circulating around through Facebook, but we're going to do it through a podcast kind of format for now as we lead up to it in addition. So, I think in the long term future of the podcast, we're going to talk about our musical guests, hopefully, have them on from time to time. And, we're Barbecue and Brew Music Festival, Barbecue and Brew by name. So I imagine we'll also include some barbecues and some brews also in the future. But for now, we're just going to kind of jump into what I like to call the update. So the update is going to include basically all the necessary information about the festival, a little bit of activity overview, music overview, food overview. I'm not going to get into too nitty gritty about that. You'll be able to check out all of that stuff in depth in the update posts on Facebook. But we're just going to do a general overview of the food, beverage, music, that whole stuff, and kind of what to expect. So most of you already know by now at this point, we're Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. And we are also kid friendly. So the last few years, we were kind of just this big outdoor party. We were a fundraiser originally for the American Legion in Catawissa, but they kind of didn't really want to do it anymore. And I didn't really want to see it die. It was a blast the first 2 years. And so we decided to change locations, move to the fair. A little backstory on our original location, the Boat Club, which I love the Boat Club. If you're from this area, you've gone to the Catawissa Legion, or to Southern Columbia, lived in Catawissa, whatever, you're probably familiar with the Boat Club. So just some logistical issues we ran into in the first 2 years. Again, the absolutely awesome venue. It's actually private, so if you have an event out, that and you're not a member, you're never going to get in. But thankfully, with a good partnership between the Legion and the Boat Club, we were able to get in there, and it's great. They have bathrooms, huge parking, no issues, except Google Maps. So I guess the original president of the Boat Club, when he set it up, the Boat Club on Google Maps, he put his address, his personal address, fearing that he wouldn't get the business mail for the Boat Club anymore to his house if he put it somewhere else. So he listed his address, and unfortunately, there were some issues that we ran into with attendees, bands trying to find the event. I got a phone call from Uncle Jake and the 18 Wheel Gang, and they were down by the sewage plant, which I knew was from where I went to high school, Bloomsburg High School, right next to the beloved sewage plant. I can't tell you how much we loved smelling that playing football growing up. That was nothing like inhaling a fresh turd in an August morning. Yeah, so that was bringing back flashbacks. But so yeah, I mean, I love the boat club. Nothing bad to say, but moving to the fairgrounds really just gave us a much more recognizable location. I mean, who doesn't know the fairgrounds or where it is when you tell the person that? So that really helped just overcome some hurdles in itself. And also, they also were set up for a lot of the same stuff that the boat club was, just on a much grander scale. Like they have bathrooms, they have parking, the land, all perfect. So that's why we ended up here. And I'm excited because the sky's the limit. The fair's been great to work with. Shout out to Jennifer there, doing the outside events coordinator. And if you're camping this year in your RV or camper, which take note, if you have one of those and you want to camp, reach out to Jennifer at the fair office. She runs the outside events, and she'll get you set up with a camping pass. So I'm really excited to have RV camping for the first time this year. Last time I checked with her, we had 23 people camping. So shout out to the people in RVs and campers, and going to be able to continue the party after 9 p.m. respectfully, of course. But it's really going to be a great time. Another thing, we weren't kid friendly in the past few years. So I'm really excited to add that element. I know Saturday morning there's going to be a dino disco put on by the Bloomsburg Children's Museum, which is going to be a lot of fun, different dinosaur activities. Make sure you check that out if you're coming with your little ones and get signed up in advance. I know there's already over 100 tickets for that have been sold in itself. So if you're coming Saturday, like I said, with little ones and you're coming early, you're going to want to be a part of that. That's a lot of fun. They put on great events all year. I mean, man, I wish I was a kid again. Some of them I was looking at. There's like they had a Star Wars event, go and slay Darth Vader or whatever. That would be I'd be in my element there. So really excited for them to put on an event. They're a great organization. Work really really hard. Um, I know on Friday, the first day of the event, we have a cornhole tournament with $500 in prizes. So make sure you get signed up for that. There's some Facebook groups floating around for each of the activities I mentioned. So just give them a search and you'll be directed to the Google Forms or the particular sign up for the Dino Disco. I'm not sure what that's on, but all listed there for you guys to sign up. Food wise, I got to tease a little bit of the food. I mean, we have over 50 vendors this year, so I'm really excited. We've more than doubled from last year. If you've been following along in our first 2 years, and the first year I think we had a little over 10. Second year we had over 20, and now obviously in year 3 we're over 50. So I'm really excited about that. We got a bunch of different foods ranging from your standard barbecue, which reminds me, we have a barbecue street, or like I like to call Q Street. So right as you come in the admission gate to your right, that big long row of food will be mostly all barbecue or stuff from the grill. So I'm going to put a challenge out there if you're listening. Hopefully someone creates a viral challenge of getting somebody or a list even. I'll take a list. I know Alexis Gulliver was great about doing that with the fair. Hopefully she'll take that on, or someone else will make a like a master list of try one from each of those barbecue locations. But don't just stop there. We got a lot of other good stuff besides just the barbecue. We got a local favorite, Step Subs. I love Step Subs. Growing up on them for the football team, she definitely kept us fed on game day. So I'm really excited to have her at the event. She's going to have a nice little view of the stage. So if you want a nice little business hoagie, nothing fancy, just a business hoagie, just something you can get right into and keep it going. Definitely stop by Steph's. She, like I said, got a great view of the stage. And so does everywhere else. I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house. I know our friends up the road at Turkey Hill Brewing Company, they have a nice little tent set up where you can bring your chair and sit down, a foldable chair, and sit under. I know Freeze Farm Winery was kind enough to get a 60 by 40 tent. So, be sure to get some brews from them if you're pulling up a foldable chair in one of those tents, or even just walking by. Same thing with Hungry Run Distillery. Really appreciate them bringing a tent and really kind of making this festival comfortable, man. Because I've been to some rippers and they're hot. There's nothing that you can get away from the heat if there's not coverage, because you're just gonna end up sweating and sweating and sweating. And me, I'm like a walking puddle. I mean, you're gonna need to bring a bucket for me, because I'm gonna be saturated if it's hot. So wanting to bring tents this year to give some added coverage was huge. I can tell you the free band stage in itself has a really, really nice big pavilion with plenty of benches for seating. But like I said, if you want to come make it kind of your own little spot with your foldable chair or blanket, there's some beautiful tents with shades, provided by some of the folks that I mentioned. And also shout out to All Occasion Rental for helping out there. I mean, they were really instrumental in bringing some shade and some coolness to the event, which I think is going to be important, because you never know how the weather's going to play out. So rain or shine, you'll have cover. So that's the deal there. Looking forward to you guys relaxing, seeing plenty of people chilling under the shade. And then I mentioned the cornhole tournament, but I don't know if I talked a little bit about the wing eating competition on Sunday. So, guys, we really need to get some people signed up for that. So if you're listening, you like free wings, you want to win $100, sign up. It's win-win in my opinion. So I only think we have like one or two folks. I would love to see at least 10 people signed up. So please do that, and get you some free wings. So what's not to like about that? And then let's kind of talk a little bit about the music. The music I'm so excited for. I'm excited for everything. I mean, even though in a way, putting on an event like this is kind of like planning for like 50 weddings all at once, I think. I mean, I've never been a wedding planner, but I can only imagine I'll probably have so much gray hair, after I'm done doing this, but it'll be worth it. I mean, I'm really happy to support the community. I know we gave away a lot of tickets to our local unions, so shout out to our workers and our workforce in this community. You guys really keep the wheels turning, keep the lights on, working hard, way harder than I work. So, I mean, it's the only way I could think about giving back. I know some of them have gone through strikes this year and striking in the coldest parts of winter. And so, I mean, literally, it was like my nipples were so hard they could cut glass going outside. I mean, even with like 3 layers, it was that freaking cold. So, I just can't believe, and it wasn't just like 2 guys out there striking. It was the whole workforce. So, just a lot of admiration for those people. I feel like that sort of blue collar is a little bit of a dying breed. I know that they don't make them like they used to, saying, but damn, some of the guys are just way tougher than I am. So, and girls and women too. I mean, there wasn't just men out there. There was women who were striking for their jobs and higher wages. So, I'm really hoping that they turn out and enjoy those free tickets, get some drinks together, relax. The summer's almost over, man. And anytime you get to spend with your friends and family, I think is really important. So hopefully this will be one of those things that they'll enjoy this year and years to come. But rolling back to the music, really excited for each day. Kind of have a little bit of a different vibe for each of the days. The first day is going to be a blues and bluegrass show. So we got a group coming all the way up from Tennessee to play. I'm really excited to hear them, their Lowdown Revival. Also, we got some folks from around the state who are pretty big and play all over the state and also all over the country. Just after Lowdown, we have Hunter Root on the card, who might be one of the biggest people of the 3 days of music. Let's see if we can get a little clip of Hunter's song here.
Same old boy changing like the seasons. Country kid turning to a town right heathen. Country kid turning to a town right heathen. Daddy's in town for a DUI.
Yeah, so damn, that's good, isn't it? Yeah, that's. Yeah, so I mean, Hunter's going places, like I said. Really excited for what he's doing. I know recently he shared a stage with Ludacris, I think, in a show in Michigan. And again, been playing all over the country with all the big name peoples that you've probably heard of before. Another one, my favorite, at the end of the night, Uncle Jake and the 18 Wheel Gang. And if you like bluegrass and you like dancing, I mean, that's something you're going to want to check out. I got to say, though, the washboard player is like the quarterback of the show. And he's probably like the most reserved out of all of them. But, man, wait till you hear that freaking washboard. Let me see if I can pull up a clip here of some washboarding.
So I'll just keep on kicking rocks and staying on my way. I've been looking for too long. I don't know if I can find a place to call my home, so I stay out on the road.
Yeah, and it has a bell on it. I mean, it almost sounds like a drum kit. It really almost sounds like a drum kit. It's the way he's able to make that washboard come to life. But I mean, everybody plays an important role in the band. I mean, I love Brady. He's kind of the front man, sitting on the suitcase drum, kicking that, and playing guitar and singing. And the songs are just cool too. It's yeah, I just love bluegrass. And so anyway, the bluegrass show is going to be fun. The blues and bluegrass show. That's what we're calling Friday. I almost forgot my good buddies, the Mighty Susquehannas. They have a funky bluesy sort of band. They're gonna be great too. So make sure you check them out in between Hunter Root and Uncle Jake and the 18 Wheel Gang. Saturday for my country people out there. This is for you. The big country show. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little bit of yeehawing for sure going on. But we got people from all over the place. I mean, really all over the country, up and down the East Coast. Guys who have been places before, guys who are going places. It's going to be great. So kicking it off, we got Uncle Jake and the 18 Wheel Gang. You'll get a chance to see them one more time at noon. That'll be right after that Dino Disco I was talking about. And then after that, I don't have the thing in front of me, but I believe it's going to be Jared Hill. Every time he comes up to Pennsylvania, he plays with Marcus Welliver, and it's always called Hell Week, Jared Hell Week when he's up here because, he's always raising some type of hell, and figuratively and literally. But I remember I went to listen to those guys at the scoreboard, and Jared was just running so late. I mean, like what are you doing? Like the kind of late, like someone stopped off to get a drink or at a strip club somewhere, running late. And then finally he rolls in, and you got pulled over by like a Briar Creek cop or someone just up the river, and so that was a whole bit during the performance there at scoreboard. But it was funny, and he didn't get into too much trouble. I don't know if it was just a tag out or missing. Who knows? But got to see him play, so he didn't get in that much trouble. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more tame this time around. But no guarantees there. Like I said, those boys tend to raise a little hell. After that, we got Alex Pierce. He's from Virginia, but moved down to do the Nashville thing. So if you're down in Nashville in the coming weeks, months, whatever, make sure you check him out. He's probably going to be playing at one of your local bars around there with other future country music stars. So that's kind of a cool opportunity to have him up here. After him, we'll have, I mentioned Marcus Welliver, his ensemble band called the Wells River Band. Also with my buddy in that, Mike Elward, playing. I mean, those guys can rip a little. I mean, they're great musicians. They're great writers. So when you're hearing songs, it's there's something behind them, and I always like live music more anyway than over the radio. So there'll definitely be something for you to enjoy as far as the country music, and a big emphasis we put overall on music is original music too. So a lot of these guys are going to be playing things that they wrote. So it's a really cool opportunity to see some of these people, especially right in your backyard. And then lastly, at the end of the big country show, and certainly not least, is Wes Ship. Wes Ship, man, he's another one who's playing all over the country. He was just featured on Country CMT with Wade Jennings, the grandson of Waylon Jennings. So, he's playing with country royalty there. So that's pretty neat. He's going places. Like you said, this might be the last year I can afford to book some of these guys here for this, but it's cool that you'll be able to say that you saw one of these people here one day. So I'm excited to have them. I'm excited for where they're going. I know that the sky's the limit. Wes Ship is, I hope he doesn't mind me talking about it too much, but I know in the past battled with substance abuse and has recently, overcame, I forget how many years at this point, clean of substances, drugs, and I think, recently coming up on several months, of alcohol, off of alcohol. So I know it's tough for people out there, and a lot of these people, it's nothing to come home and just have a couple beers after work. But sometimes it's harder to not do that then sometimes. And I'm really excited for Wes as a musician and as a person. He's a great dude. Really been awesome to interact with, coming up to the event and booking him, and just a great down to earth people. And I think a lot of these guys are. I've spoke with most of them. I've met most of them, with the exception of a couple of them who live out of state and haven't played up this way before. And like Hunter Root, I just heard at Threestival, which I'm shouting out those guys as well. They put on a really cool festival, I think about 4 times a year, and they always have Pennsylvania's greatest underground kind of musicians, and also from outside the state too. And so yeah, I met Hunter Root a few months back at the first show after I booked him. Just kind of wanted to introduce myself, go up to him, said hello, and then ran into him again when I was taking some marketing photos for Uncle Jake. So some of the pictures you see on our Facebook or whatever, that's kind of from that, what I do in the off season. Which funny story. Oh my God, talking about feeling uncomfortable. I mean, I've never wanted to be an ostrich more in my life and just put my head in the ground and just pretend I was invisible. So we went to see Uncle Jake, and obviously saw Hunter there at Threestival. But I was able to park because I have my camera equipment and all that sort of stuff. The first time I was there, I lost a piece of it. So I like to kind of have my home base close when I have my equipment now. And so they're gracious enough to let me park out there. But it got so packed for Hunter's set, and I was, I just was shooting Uncle Jake and then trying to leave. I had to get up early the next morning. And by the time all the people get in, it was like a sea of zombies trying to drive through. And then people aren't freaking moving for you. And oh my God, it was just so embarrassing. I mean, you can't honk your horn. You barely want to even have your lights on because, you fear that the band's just going to cut the music and just kind of be like, hey, who's that asshole trying to drive through the crowd? Well, yeah, unfortunately, I was that asshole. And that was an embarrassing, cringy moment. I will probably keep me awake for nights on end for the next 5 years. It was that embarrassing. But yeah, but that's what I do in the off season is shoot our bands that are going to be performing. Sometimes have those very, very cringy moments, but try to definitely minimize those. But as a whole, though, in all seriousness, that's really the event in a nutshell. We have over 10 alcohol vendors between breweries, wineries, distilleries. We got stuff from the grill and smoker. We got empanadas, tacos, pizzas, fried food. We got comfort foods. We got gluten-free food. So there's literally something for everybody, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. So if you see, somebody on a driving around on a golf cart with a staff shirt on or whatever, say hello to them. We really love that you're going to come, and we're looking forward to seeing you. So we'll see you in about a week.